Since I'm in the church, we're going to tell the church. But anyway, there was a pastor who had been pastoring for 40 years. And in his life, he had been married almost 40 years. And all of a sudden, his wife took sick. She got real sick. With all the praying and the seeking God that they were doing, she got no better. So one day she said, honey, it looked like I'm getting ready to leave you. But before I go, I want to tell you something. She said, now in the dining room, under the rug, in the floorboard, is something I'm leaving for you. But don't go in there until I pass. So weeks passed and she was growing worse and she lapsed into a coma. So he got all the saints together and they began to pray and she started getting better. And she was getting better. Before she really came around, he said, I can't take it no more. Let me go see what she was talking about. So he went in the dining room, under the rug, in the floorboard. And he looked in there, under the floorboard, and he seen a dozen of eggs. He said, a dozen of eggs. When he lifted up, all he could see in the floorboard, under the dozen, all this money looked like thousands of dollars. So he put the eggs back in there, and he put the floorboard and covered the rug up. So when his wife got better, one day he said, hon, I know you told me not to go in the dining room, under the rug, in the floorboard until you died. So he said, but one day I got so curious, I just went in there and I looked and all of that. And he said, now, what is all of this you got in there? She said, well, honey, you know, just something I wanted to leave for you. And he said, but what was the dozen of eggs? She said, well, you've been preaching for 40 years. And every time you preached a bad message, I would put an egg in there. And he began to think about it. He said, wow, 40 years, only a dozen eggs? That ain't too bad. You know, that ain't a bad sermon a year. And he said, well, honey, what's all this money? I mean, I looked under the eggs, it was thousands of dollars. She said, well, baby, I sold them by the dozen.